everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, the only podcast about dinosaur sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done the show, so I had to kind of think about our intro again. It's a new intro and it's been a while. Give me a goddamn break. But
no.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
I'm Brian.
Damn, I was gonna do a funny bit where I was gonna hang up the call so the Discord hang up sound plays, but then you ruined it by continuing the show.
I'm here to hijack all your jokes.
God damn it, Brian! I can't believe you would do this to me. But yeah, he's Brian and I'm David. God damn it, we did it out of order. What are you doing to me, Brian?
The first time ever.
You're just. This is chaotic already. It always is, but it's even more so because you're in control now. It's usually the other way around. I'm usually the one fucking up, but
I'm not in control.
Oh, so who is in control?
I don't want that. Nobody.
Oh, that's not good. We're just without reins then. That's not a good. That's not a good sign. I don't think this is gonna go very well today. But
no.
Hello. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a couple weeks. We had some stuff to do. Namely, I went to go visit Brian. Hello, Brian. I miss you.
The West Coast.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. We saw
except for Seattle, which wasn't.
Yeah, that was. Well, no, because we saw Godzilla in Seattle. So that was.
We did see Godzilla in Seattle.
I posted it on the Talking Toku Instagram. If you guys saw that, that was the one and only picture from the trip I posted. I didn't take many pictures on the trip, but that was one of the only ones I took, and I figured this is fitting.
I was a little disappointed to not see it paired with your Wojak meme to the Space Needle.
That wasn't even a Wojak. That was me just kind of like slack-jawed. I was like, I wasn't even shocked. I was just like so underwhelmed by seeing it.
People don't realize that the Space Needle is not very impressive.
It's not. I mean, it's big. Yeah,
it's a cool piece of architecture. But,
yeah, that gift shop was fucking
also
packed, though. That was gross.
For anybody that doesn't live in the Seattle area, it's also $50 to go up that fucking thing.
That was gross. I wasn't expecting it to be that expensive. Like, I'm going to pay $50 to go up a tower? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
it could be a bigger tower than that. Eiffel Tower, man. I wonder how much the Eiffel Tower. Can you go up in the Eiffel Tower? I can't remember.
Yeah, you can go up for free. I'm pretty sure
for free. Seattle is robbing us blind, Brian. Holy shit.
Well, you can go to the top of the Prudential Center in Boston, and it's taller than the Space Needle.
That is true.
So, and you get a pretty good view of that. I mean, what are you going to get a view of in Seattle aside from the ocean?
Yeah, that's fair. Not a whole lot.
You can maybe see the airport where you were going to go home.
Whoa, what a cool sight. The Seattle Tacoma Airport.
Oh yeah.
Just what I wanted to see. Yeah. Okay. But yes, we're back. Oh, there was that, and then we could have done one the week I came back, but Monday, which is when we record, was my birthday. I'm fucking old. And also,
happy birthday, Mr. 27-year-old.
Don't sound so proud of yourself. You're 26. But then also, I was still really tired from the jet lag because I got very little sleep on the plane. I'm still kind of recovering, honestly. I'm still waking up a little later than I normally do, but I'm getting there, I promise. But we're back officially. We're back in the saddle. Me bringing you the. I would say best, but are we really the best? Is this really the best we have to offer, Brian?
I think we're a solid fine.
Okay, we're bringing you what we have to offer, not the best we have to offer, just what we have to offer. So hopefully that's good enough for you.
I just want to meet expectations.
I agree. I think that's a good. That's something to strive. That's something good to strive towards. But yeah. We are talking about today to welcome us back, we're going to be talking about the history of Godzilla on the small screen, a television screen, if you will.
And I'm going to preface this by saying I put minimal effort into researching. Dave did mostly all of it.
I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it either, but there is kind of a thesis surrounding it, which we'll get into when we start talking about it. It's not going to be like, oh, there's this TV show and there's this TV show, which we kind of did for our comics episode a while ago, which I'm not all that proud of that episode. And part of that, Brian, is because you didn't do anything for that one either.
I know.
But there is kind of like a central core discussion topic based on that. That's just kind of the basis. But before we get into that, because it's been such a long time since we've had an episode, holy shit, there's news to cover. I'm curious. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I like
9,
how
10.
a lot of these, I don't know. What?
Yeah,
What?
no, we'll get into it. Don't worry about it, Brian.
I know this.
You do know that.
Psyched about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know this. God,
I know this,
You
unfortunately.
definitely know that. We'll talk about it. But let's just get into things. So right off the bat, this is already like out. Like the pre-order went up, I think, right before I went out of town, and it's already out because I have it. I bought it. But anyways, Shout Studios. There's Shout Factory on the website, but I'm pretty sure they rebranded as Shout Studios, but it's still shoutfactory.com, so I don't know. They did a big box set of a bunch of classic Toei tokusatsu films, including Prince of Space, Invasion of the Neptune Men. Oh my God, can I scroll to the side, please? Apparently I can't. Okay. Watari the Ninja Boy, Golden Ninja, Dragon's Showdown, and Ninja Scope. None of these are films I have seen before, so of course I bought the set just to... Because I've not really seen much Toei stuff. I think the only Toei stuff either of us have really seen are the first 7 or 8 episodes of Kamen Rider and Shin Kamen Rider, and that's pretty much it.
Oh my God, I forgot about Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, we need to do something about that.
It's been over a year, Brian, because we started watching the show after we watched Shin Kamen Rider, and that came out in March.
I just remember that the last thing we saw was the most amazing fucking thing I've ever seen, and I think that we didn't go back and finish it because it was just too good.
It was just going to be downhill from there. Yeah.
Honestly.
So that set is currently available now. I think they're also streaming on some free service. I don't remember which. It might be Tubi. It's probably Tubi.
Probably Tubi.
You can watch those wherever you like, but you can get the cool little box set. And I think some of them have a poster. Sorry. The limited edition poster with the first 600 orders has sold out as of February 13th. So that went real quick. But you can still get the set.
It's nice to see that it is being bought in such great numbers.
I know.
That's
I
cool.
think the big, when that first got announced, there was a big push to pre-order this, show Shout Factory that there is a market for classic tokusatsu stuff, which it seems like there is. So I hope they do more, because they did a lot of stuff back in the day. They used to have the Ultraman license before Mill Creek picked it up. So I hope we get more Toku from them. I mean, they have a whole separate streaming service. It's called Toku Shoutsu. So they have a bunch of Toku stuff. Anyways, so there's that. So go buy that. Check it out. I'm sure that there's good stuff there. I know the Magic Serpent is the one people were really, really excited for. So, anyways, moving on. This is old news at this point too, but we didn't discuss it on the show, I don't think. But there was a new trailer for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, and hey, it looks better.
I still think it looks kind of bad.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to say more excited, but I think less. How do I word this? I don't even know.
Are you more on board, I guess.
Yeah. I'm more on board with it. Like, it still looks stupid, but it does look like the funny kind of stupid. And I'm here for that. I'll take it.
I am. I don't know. I have a harder time, like, just kind of turning my brain off and kind of, I don't know. At this point, like, I know I am gonna go see it. I mean, I have to go see it.
You are contractually obligated.
And I know that, I am at least gonna enjoy the first viewing to a degree. Because that's how all Godzilla movies go for me. Even if my eventual opinion on it settles on it, it's not very good.
Right.
However, we've just done the song and dance so often now that I have just kind of resigned myself to it's just not my kind of thing.
That's fair.
And I just don't think that no matter any kind of marketing that they try, I just don't think that they're going to drum up the same kind of enthusiasm. Because it just, like, I know what to expect now. And, you can say that that's a good thing, but also I think knowing exactly what to expect is kind of killing Hollywood.
Yeah, that's kind of my issue with the film. And I hate to get more into this because
it's turned into Transformers. That's what the MonsterVerse
Transformers, is. Transformers. I wouldn't know, and I would go further. It's turned into fucking Marvel.
Okay, then sure. I mean, I guess I see Transformers as worse than Marvel, but I mean,
here's the thing about Transformers, though. Transformers, as bad as those movies are, you can tell Michael Bay put a lot of effort into it. Like, he put his heart and soul into the films. Like, it doesn't matter if they're bad, which they are, but he puts the work in. They have vision. They have vision. Yes, exactly. Marvel, not so much, and that's kind of where the MonsterVerse is going. But I'm gonna, table that discussion for now because there's 3 weeks until the movie comes out in 3 weeks. You'll have our discussion on that then. So we're gonna do this entire conversation then. So don't worry about it.
Let me just clarify though. Anyone who is excited, I don't take this as me saying that you shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, I'm psyched for Godzilla fans just getting shit. So don't take me poo-pooing it to be like I don't think it should be struck from existence, because that's not the case. Dave got me a fucking Godzilla X Kong toy as a joke birthday gift, so it's not like I don't want to wish that out of existence.
Brian said to me when I visited him, he got really high and he said, if anyone who's excited for Godzilla the New Empire should fucking kill themselves. That's what he said. That's a direct quote from him.
You know what, Dave? I cannot refute that other than saying I didn't. So it's your word against mine.
Who will you believe, listeners? Will you believe me, the head of the show, the one who has more presence on social media, or you believe Brian? Brian's not on any social media. He may as well not even exist.
I did say my name first today.
That's true. Fuck. You got me. God damn it. You win this round, Brian. I guess I'll concede. Cool. Speaking of the new monkey, and this is the one that you weren't too sure about, Brian.
Yeah, what do you what?
So if you
can't just put Circle K LMAO and expect me to understand what that means.
I don't. That was my intent, Brian. I didn't want you to know what it means because I thought it'd be funny. So if you got a Circle K around you, keep an eye out because they're doing a collab with Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. They're doing a bunch of cool snacks. You got the Kong breakfast sandwich that has triple the meat. I'm seeing 2 sausage patties and some bacon. You got the Godzilla Blast. It's some sort of frozen slush drink. I'm not seeing a flavor, but it's Godzilla flavor, apparently.
It's got to be blue, right? Oh, no, it's not
red.
Blue.
It's red, yeah. But, well, yeah, I guess it makes sense because he's got the pink fins now. I guess that's more fitting. Anyways, they also got the Titan Toffee Crunch Bar, which that's the one I'm most interested in because boy, do I like toffee. Toffee is goddamn
Probably
delicious.
got a lot of aluminum in it.
The bar, like the chocolate
Yeah.
itself, has aluminum.
It's probably got a lot of aluminum in it.
Why does it have a lot of aluminum, Brian?
I don't know, because it's probably. You haven't heard that like Hershey's chocolate has like a lot of aluminum in it?
No, what?
Yeah, it does.
What the
damn.
fuck?
Okay. I thought you probably heard about that.
No, this is news to me.
Well, never mind. That
Okay, I thought
from the record.
I thought you were gonna go into more detail. Oh wait, no, there is.
No, I mean I can. Hold on.
There's another. There's not just the Godzilla Blast Froster. There's the Kong Crush, and that one is blue. Also, there's some sort of sweepstakes. What's the sweepstakes? You get a route. It's a Warner Brothers studio tour. Includes 2 round trip tickets and a 2-night stay in Los Angeles.
Okay, I just gotta interrupt you because I actually did look it up.
Okay,
and
go
it's
on.
so much worse than I thought.
No! Oh no!
It wasn't even aluminum.
Oh no!
It's lead.
Oh
It's
no!
lead.
That is so much
Hershey's-
worse.
Hershey's Special Darkly Mild Sweet Chocolate had the highest level of lead of any of the bars tested by Consumer Reports.
How high are we talking?
Let me go in here. Please don't be a pay-for site. Let's see.
And did you say it was specifically the dark chocolate one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes me feel a little better because my aunt for my birthday every year she gets me a giant Hershey's chocolate bar, but it's the normal milk chocolate bar, so I might be okay. Might being the operative
this
word.
article is prefaced by saying toxic levels of heavy metals like lead and cadmium shouldn't be found in our favorite chocolate products, which means that shit's definitely in there.
You know what? It's okay because on junk foods, one of my other shows, we did a taste test thing for like a Japanese snack box, and like half of those things in that box said they had cadmium in them. So at this point, I'm probably gonna die when I'm like 50. It's okay.
Yeah.
I accept my demise.
All right, here is the numbers part. Okay. None of the cocoa powders tested by CR exceeded the limit of cadmium, but 2 had high levels of lead. A serving, 1 tablespoon of Hershey's Cocoa Naturally Unsweetened 100% cocoa tested at 125% of the limit. Second only to Drost cocoa powder. None of the 5 milk chocolate bars in CR's test were over CR's limit for either heavy metal, but Hershey's milk chocolate bar had the most lead, 67% of the limit.
Oh my god, so bad.
It is really bad. Hershey's does not care. They
insane.
do not care. It's all Hershey shit.
Damn,
So,
we're boycotting Hershey's now, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, back to the Circle K Godzilla X Kong sweepstakes.
Oh, I mean that was kind of it.
Okay.
I finished the thought on the Circle K. We're good.
Honestly, I'm confused as to why they went something as innocuous as Circle K.
I don't know, but you know what? It's gonna be good because the station where I record, there's a Circle K right next door. I could probably go there right now and get a Titan Toffee Crunch bar if I really wanted to.
Okay, Dave. So the closest Circle K to me is in Anacortes, which is like 30 minutes away.
Let's fucking
Is
go.
this worth a 30-minute drive?
What if you get there and they don't have it, Brian?
Oh my god. Oh my god, yeah.
That
would suck.
No, Brian. That would be good because you know what you could do? You could finally use the "Do you know who I am?" line.
Do you know who I am?
I'm the host of Talking Toku. You could finally use that line. I demand some Godzilla snacks, please and thank you.
I could use the equally as epic line. I can pay you an exposure.
Yeah, because we definitely have a lot of exposure to offer.
Yeah, our 100 plus followers.
Yeah. Awesome.
But no less than 200.
Yep. All right, moving on.
We're no more than 200.
We got so much news to cover still. We're already 20 minutes into this episode, Brian. We got to move it along. All right.
What do you mean by skate or die?
There's a new comic from IDW called Godzilla Skate or Die, and it sounds fucking sick. I'll read you the IDW official solicitation. It's Australian skater punks versus Varan and the King of the Monsters in this thrilling debut issue by writer-artist Louis Joyce, who's done A Fistful of Pain. Not a title I recognize, but that's because I don't read a whole lot of comics. 4 years ago, 4 best friends and diehard skaters found the perfect location for a DIY skate park. After months of hard work, they created the world's sickest spot that they could enjoy for the rest of their lives. That is until the ferocious Varan appeared in the middle of Central Australia and started making a beeline for their beloved park. Why is Varan on a rampage? Why did Godzilla just appear off the coast? What does their beloved skate spot have to do with this? And most importantly, what are these punks willing to do to save it? And the art.
That sounds pretty sick.
It does. Where's the date for this? June 12th. So not too far off. But yeah, no, I'm on board. I saw a lot of people are like, I'm done with IDW Godzilla. It's clearly they're not making stuff for me. I'm like, you kidding me? This sounds sick as hell. I don't know what I don't care what you want. I'll take this. Don't mind if I do.
Everyone just wants take everything super seriously, boring shit all the time.
Yeah. Listen, if the series doesn't end with Godzilla on a skateboard, then I'll be upset. But for now, I'll take it. Speaking of comics, actually, it's not really spoilers because it was like an official announcement. You said you were keeping up with Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, right, Brian?
Not reading it, but listening to people talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So DC posted a teaser for the final issue on Instagram today, and Kong becomes a Green Lantern.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? I could see them doing some crazy shit.
I know.
Like that.
So I'm like, oh, this series is fun. I mean, I don't know if I might be an issue behind, but I've been keeping up pretty well, and it's really good so far. I really like the series so far, and if they're going as far as making Kong a Green Lantern, that's pretty sick.
What lantern should they make Godzilla be? Make him a Red Lantern.
No, Godzilla's not really hateful though.
I mean, I just want him to be friends with that fucking cat.
Oh yeah, Dexstar. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what the other lanterns are. I know green obviously is willpower. Yellow is fear. Orange is greed. Blue.
That's the only one I know aside from green and
blue
yellow.
is hope.
Boring.
I don't. That's all I got. I don't remember. All right, moving on. Hey, there's a big Kraken movie coming from Norway. There's not a whole lot of details on this, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the director's name. Brian, if you want to take an attempt at that, feel free.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Usually I pride myself on being able to pronounce some Eastern European stuff, but nah.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Oh well.
You said that's Norway?
It's a Norwegian monster movie. It says.
Yeah, Norway, their language is weird, and I don't like it.
Damn, sounds
never going
to me.
Norway. And also, there's too many bikers.
Too many bikers? Is that a thing?
All they do in Norway. Fucking
really
bike.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking Europeans.
All right, but
I'm pretty sure Norway. Actually, I'm pretty sure Norway is the country that like collectively shames people for flying because it's bad for the environment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's funny.
Interesting.
I think that's Norway. It could be a different one. It's one of those fucking countries.
Well, we do have a short little synopsis. At the bottom of Norway's deepest fjord rests a mythical monster as large as a mountain, with a myriad of arms ready to crush and devour anything they can grab. That is literally it. So
Dude,
it's a big Kraken
we
movie.
need more ocean monster movies.
know.
I love it.
Something on my
love
Twitter
it.
timeline popped up about underwater. I'm like, damn, I want to watch Underwater again because I haven't seen it since
I bought it.
Oh, did
I
you?
bought it.
Hell
I did.
yeah.
I got just a regular old Blu-ray copy of it, and I watched it not long ago. And that movie, it fucks.
It does. It very much does.
It is so sad to think that they had that movie sitting on a shelf for 2-3 years, and they fucking put it out right before COVID hit, and it made no money.
I know.
Like, that sucks.
It's all COVID's fault, really.
Yeah, I mean, but also it's the fucking studio. Like, they knew what they were doing.
That's true.
It's just a bummer. More underwater movies, more of them, and I love big krakens. They're cool.
Krakens are cool. I'm excited for that. It just says 2025. I have no idea when it'll actually be out, but next year sometime. All right, moving on. We got a new trailer for Kaiju number 8, as well as a release date, April 13th. I am unsure as to how it's going to be broadcast here in the States, because I saw something that it's going to be simulcast on Twitter. Not sure how that's going to work, because Twitter's video player is like terrible. There's a ton of terrible compression on it. It's awful. I hope that's not the only
I mean, Crunchyroll put out the trailer. I imagine
they'll be on it too, but Twitter.
I ain't signing up for fucking Twitter to watch that shit. You could put the second coming of Jesus Christ broadcasted on Twitter, and I wouldn't sign up for it.
Yeah. But
it would be pretty insane, but like
trailer looks good. It's looking exactly how I wanted it to look, because I've read a bunch of the manga, and it's looking great. It's weird that they have One Republic and Youngblood doing the intro theme and outro theme. That was an interesting decision. Thought they would have gotten Japanese artists to do that, as they usually do, but okay. I also didn't know One Republic was still making music, for that matter, but hey, you learn something new every day, I guess.
I forgot about One Republic until you just mentioned them just now.
You're welcome, Brian. See, now you learned something.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. It's what I'm here for.
I'm fucking psyched for Kaiju number 8.
I know. Looks so good.
You told me to just read the manga if I really want to. No.
Okay.
Waiting for the anime.
Okay.
No.
Damn.
No.
Never seen you so steadfast in something, Brian. My goodness.
I don't got time to read right now. I'm busy.
Damn. So you're saying you're telling me I lent you that book for no reason?
No, I will read that book when I'm done with this semester of school.
Okay. All right.
Carve out some time.
Okay. Good. But hey, Brian, we got some big news regarding our favorite film franchise of all time.
So this shit broke when you were here. Yep. And the collective mourning for this man's career in the car was heartbreaking.
It was pretty bad. So on our last episode, we reported that there is a new Jurassic Park film in development, with David Leitch set to direct, and then almost immediately, like 3 days later, he was no longer in talks to direct.
It was so fast.
And then like Brian said, when I was visiting, the news broke that they had found another director. And if you guys remember, the reason David Leitch dropped out of directing that film is because Universal, I guess, was looking pretty much for a jobber, just someone they could hand the film to, be like, here, do this exactly like this, and we'll pay you. And unfortunately, the person they found to take David Leitch's place is our I don't want to say friend. We're not friends with them, although I wish that we were. The creator, hero. That's a good one. The creator, and more importantly, Godzilla 2014 director Gareth Edwards. And we have a potential title
Oh,
Which
God.
this one killed me. The working title is Jurassic City.
Hollywood is the reason I drink. Bro.
I feel that. And I think we both agreed that there's a good chance this might end up being Gareth Edwards' first L in his career.
Well, as a famous man once said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the jobber.
Or live long enough to direct a Jurassic World film.
Yeah. Oh my God, this poor man.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I don't think it will.
It won't. It's not going to. Don't say that.
I want to believe for Gareth. I want to believe in Gareth, Brian.
Honestly, I think the most likely thing that's going to happen is this movie's going to get delayed and Gareth is going to pull out.
It might be for the best.
I don't
honestly.
think I don't think that he is going to just be a pushover. Like he's a man of vision.
I don't know,
like,
but
if you
like,
don't let him do that, then like I just don't see him stick. Obviously I don't know him personally, but like I don't know.
I don't know, because like there was a bunch of reports surrounding Rogue One that like someone else took over the directing from him. Like they'd had a bunch of reshoots that he wasn't involved in or whatever. I don't know how true those are, because I want to say he said something about it like relatively recently that like that wasn't really the case, but I don't know for sure. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not his first bad movie, but also like it's fucking Jurassic. Like everything that's come out is dog ass, dude.
Whoa.
Except for our favorite show that's ever been released.
That's more like it.
That is the one asterisk.
Okay. All right. I was about to throw hands, Brian.
As far as I'm concerned, the last good Jurassic Park movie was Jurassic Park. So
okay, damn.
the rest of them are enjoyable, but they're not Jurassic Park.
They're serviceable.
They are perfectly watchable.
Yeah.
Except for Jurassic World and Jurassic World Dominion. Those are pretty unwatchable.
We should have watched. We were going to watch Dominion when I was visiting. We didn't have time.
And then I posed the question: why is it that every time we're in the same fucking place together, it's always a question and not out of the question?
Because it's just such an intrinsic part of our lives, Brian. It's part of our character. Anyway.
And now it's part of our intro.
I know. It really is. All right, moving on. We still got 3 more stories to get to, and we're a half hour in. All right.
Yes.
We're going to speed run these. Got a new Brush of the God trailer, and it looks fucking incredible, as I knew it
looks
would.
So good, and I felt instant regret at not getting one of those heads for $2,000.
You wouldn't have $2,000 to spend to get the head, Brian.
Dude, if I knew how much I could spend back when that Kickstarter was going, as opposed to now, I might have.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a release date on this, but I think they're still hoping for a 2024 release. We'll see. Yeah, there's no release date here. Oh well. But no, it does look really, really good. I don't know anyone who is surprised that it looks good. That being said, I'm surprised it looks as good as it does.
The head puppetry is insane.
Incredible. Like anyone familiar with Keizo Murase's work, like you should know like what you're getting into with this.
I hope there is extensive behind the scenes.
I mean there already is. Like if you're following the Kickstarter updates, like I am, but so I kind of just glance over them. I don't really like read every word. I just kind of skim them. But anyways, moving on. This one's kind of a rumor, but it's an interesting one. There's no source. I don't even know the source, but take this with a very, very, very large grain of salt. Supposedly, Toho is currently in talks with Janus Films to distribute -1 in the States for physical media. Janus Films, if you guys are not aware, are the ones responsible for their Criterion collection. it wouldn't be the first time Criterion has grabbed a new release for distribution. I know they grabbed Parasite up pretty quickly. There was another one even more recently than that I can't remember what it was, but they definitely like pretty much grabbed it up as soon as it came out.
Is it Parasite, Roma, or Pinocchio?
I think Roma is the one I'm thinking of, but also Pinocchio. Forgot they did that, and I still need to buy that actually. But yes, pretty much. Yeah, so we'll see. I think it would be a great get for Criterion to do -1. It'd be nice to have another.
Make them a good bit of money if they did.
It'd be kind of fitting for them to get another Godzilla film under their belt, especially because there are still rumors swirling that they're going to be doing a Heisei era set. But that'd be nice. Those rumors have been swirling for like years now, and nothing's come to fruition on those. So who knows? But I hope so. And I'm starting to get really tired of all the posts on r/Godzilla asking, when is -1 going to hit streaming or physical? I didn't get to see it. It's like, shut up. I see those posts every day. Every day. Dude, and it's pissing me off.
I got out of that shit and I blocked that subreddit from my account. Yeah. I cannot see it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Done. To be honest, though, Reddit itself is kind of going under in my head.
Yeah, Reddit in general. No, I don't blame
you. I feel like most of it's more bots than humans at this point.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Year of Gorgo never stops, dude.
Year of Gorgo never stops. Where is the post I made on that?
Lingle posted it in our thing, didn't it?
He did, but I was looking at the Twitter post. Yeah, there's nothing. It's not much of an announcement. It's just, Titanic Creations posted the cover art for their upcoming Gorgo graphic novel that's coming out later this year, Gorgo Legacy. It's going to be illustrated by Patrick McElvoy and written by Mac McClintock and also Patrick McElvoy. So, yeah, nothing. Just a neat little thing to throw in there. It looks really cool.
The art looks clean.
It does. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, Year of Gorgo. Let's fucking go, guys. All right, that's it for the news. We're 37 minutes into this episode. Wow. Okay. So let's we're just going to dive right on in to our main topic. So like I said, there was a bit of a main thesis for this topic. We're not just going to be like, oh, there's this show and this show and this show. I don't know where this thought came from. I think I was like trying to go to sleep and it went off like a light bulb.
I remember that you told me about this idea when you were here.
Oh, so, did? Oh, okay. I don't know. Whatever. Point is, this struck me. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but there are a lot of Godzilla shows, and we all know this, but I feel like a lot of fans, and I feel like we ourselves can be included in this, a lot of fans only consider a small handful of them to be, quote, mainline entries in the franchise. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, like, I feel like more of these should be considered mainline. So I kind of wanted to, like, kind of go over a bunch of them and just to talk and see, like, should this be considered a mainline entry? Should this be considered a mainline entry? Et cetera, et cetera. So
what do we mean by mainline?
I don't know. That's the thing. Because, like, if we really think about it, Ebirah Horror of the Deep, not quite a mainline Godzilla entry, nor is Godzilla vs. Megalon. Because Godzilla vs. Megalon is more of a Jet Jaguar film than a Godzilla film. Ebirah Horror of the Deep was originally supposed to be a Kong film instead of Godzilla. So it's kind of, the lines are kind of blurred there.
I feel like just calling anything in the Godzilla series mainline is just kind of weird. Because it's not like Godzilla has, like, Marvel style side stories with characters.
Right.
It's all just kind of
There.
they're all genre movies. They're
Yeah.
in the same genre, and most of the movies do not share characters or continuity.
Yeah. I would say, like, I guess the easiest way to do it would be like, is Godzilla a starring character in the property? That's kind of the
Okay.
easiest way to go about it.
So we're more gonna go off of like perception
Yeah.
of the show. Like,
Yeah.
is this a niche thing, or is this something everybody that's a fan of the series can like considers like, I don't know.
Yeah,
For
so
that
I kind of
person.
want to get into like whether or not it should be considered a mainline, and alternatively why some fans wouldn't consider it a mainline. Because so let's just go with our first one here. This I don't think this is a mainline entry, but it's worth mentioning. So Zone Fighter, not a show I've seen. I've been meaning to, but it's worth mentioning for sure because it is Godzilla's first ever on-screen TV appearance. I think he's only in like 3 episodes or maybe even 2. I don't know. But I know King Ghidorah appears in a couple episodes as well as Gigan. And actually, I found out recently, Gigan canonically dies in Zone Fighter in episode 11.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Huh?
He just gets his ass handed to him that badly.
Canonically, like,
I mean,
what does that even mean?
So Zone Fighter technically does take place in the Showa era continuity,
Oh, okay.
and Gigan dies in Zone Fighter. So there is a canonical death, on-screen death for Gigan in the Showa era.
Okay, you know what? I take it back. Maybe there are side stories with
That's
different
what I'm
characters.
saying.
I had just been proven wrong within the first 5 minutes. I'm ready.
Good job. We did it. But yeah, no, again, I don't think Zone Fighter is definitely not a Zone Fighter is his own character. It's his show. Godzilla makes a cameo appearance in a couple of episodes. There's that one like scene that everyone likes to post of Godzilla coming out of his cave and then hauling ass for like a good 2 minutes to come to to Zone Fighter's rescue, which is really funny. But
I don't think I've ever seen
you've
that.
never seen that? Oh my God, Brian! I'm gonna have to remind me to send it to you when I get home because it actually is really funny. He is hoofing it. You know, everyone got mad when the first Godzilla X Kong trailer dropped. Like, oh, Godzilla doesn't run. He is running in Zone Fighter. He is full on sprinting in Zone Fighter.
Okay.
It's
That
good.
sounds funny.
You know what? Because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna bring it up now and just send it to you so I don't forget later.
Okay. Oh, I found it.
Did you? Oh yeah, I got it. Well, I won't have you watch that right now, but
Oh, I'm watching it.
oh, are you okay? You're watching it.
Oh, yeah, there he goes. He is definitely running.
He's hoofing it, man. I told you.
Wow.
He's so fast, Brian. He's so fast.
He's like
He's like the Flash.
it's like in Evangelion where they're gonna catch the angel that's dive bombing. But specifically the rebuild one where they Naruto run.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, there we go. That's the important thing. That's the one important
What
thing.
a great meme. I've been exposed.
Very nice. But yeah, no, I wouldn't consider Zone Fighter a mainline thing. It's just, but it is certainly important because it's his first ever on-screen appearance. Now, here's the big one. Here's the first big one. The Hanna-Barbera series from 1978. I feel like a lot of fans view this as kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the Godzilla series. And I feel like I know why, but at the same time, the explanation in my head doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the Hanna-Barbera series, if you guys have not watched it, it's very much exactly what you'd expect. It's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It's kind of more in line with like Johnny Quest, one of the more action-oriented cartoons they did, rather than something like Scooby-Doo. but it's still Hanna-Barbera. It's kind of goofy. It's a Saturday morning cartoon from the 70s. Of course it's going to be goofy. But my argument here is that it was 1978. The Showa era Godzilla films only ended 3 years previous. So what's the issue here? Like, yeah, it's a little goofier than some of those 70s films, but like I still feel like it's I watched the first episode just before recording, and it's a ton of fun. Like I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I think it deserves to be considered a mainline entry, despite it being so inconsistent with everything we've seen from Godzilla up till then. Like, it is still, you know, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here, but it's still very much in line with Godzilla as a character at that point. He's still got that superhero vibe to him that he had in the 70s. He just kind of ramped up to 11 basically, and you know, you've got a bunch of different monsters that he fights in the show. It's all, and it also oddly, I feel like a lot of people forget this. It is also the first American adaptation of Godzilla. Like, this is way before this is 20 years before Godzilla 1998, and so that's kind of an interesting aspect of it as well. But his name's in the title.
Yeah. I mean, as a person who has not, I don't think I've, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I've really watched a single full episode of the Hanna-Barbera series. But, like, is it possible that it's just because, like, a lot of people are like me, where they just, like, have not seen a lot of it, so they can't really form an opinion, but, like, I feel like the Godzilla fandom has a way of forcing people to create an opinion despite not having seen something in its entirety.
That might be part of it. So, I don't know, because I guess,
I mean, but that's a lot of fandoms. That's not specific to Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like, nowadays, I feel like people are forced to form an opinion on something to be on the, like, in crowd. But I don't know. I mean, I as a Godzilla fan, I just don't really even see the Hanna-Barbera adaptation mentioned all that much in general.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't talk about it all that often.
It could just be because there's nothing else to really compare it to. Unless it's brought up organically, you know?
Like we just did.
Because it's
breaking new ground.
It's pretty, you know, it's pretty singular. There's nothing really like it.
It's very out there compared to everything else in the franchise.
Like, I think that's really highlighted by just the character design of Godzilla in the show. It is nothing like the rest of them. It has the fundamentals, but when people look at them all in a lineup, they're like, oh, that one's different.
But the thing is, like, this was, I think, a year after the Marvel Comics series, and that's a pretty close... Like, they're pretty close in design. Like, they're both green.
That one is more green, isn't it?
And they I think even the fin shape is pretty similar. I mean, the Hanna-Barbera is a lot more simplistic, but that's just because, you know, animation budgets and all that. And that was a lot of people's introduction to that version of the character too. Like, a lot of people in the States, like, they found out about Godzilla. Like, that was a very popular series at the time. So I don't know. I personally, and I think its singularity, like, works in its favor. Like, because there's nothing else like it in the franchise, I think it deserves to be considered a mainline entry in the Godzilla franchise. Especially now that, like, you know, Toho has gone to the lengths to upload the entire series on YouTube to make it more accessible to people. And I think the second season wasn't even available anywhere until they uploaded it, because, like, I think only season 1 was ever released on DVD.
Huh. I think that's a pretty good point, actually. I didn't really think that, like, it being so different, because that's kind of how a lot of, like Godzilla things become mainline. Like look at Shin Godzilla, like that one's nothing like the rest of them, and it's one of the, you know, big pillars of new
Exactly.
Godzilla stuff. But it's very different from everything else.
Exactly. So I think,
and same with another thing we're going to talk about, Godzilla Singular Point. There's nothing else like it.
yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, a lot of people don't like the show, but there's also a pretty big sect of the community that really loves Godzilla Ultima.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, me being one of them, I love Godzilla Ultima.
Oh, so do I. He's great. So what are we thinking for Hanna-Barbera Godzilla? Again, I'm fully
honestly,
in the camp
you've convinced me with
Really?
your argument on it being so different, because I think that that's something that makes Godzilla awesome, is that there's just so many different variations of them, and I think all of them deserve respect. And the ones that make the biggest leaps, I think, deserve the most respect, and that would be Hanna-Barbera. I think it was a big leap to make it just a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think it's one of those things where over time I feel like it's going to hold up better, because, you know, we're just never going to get something like that ever again.
I agree. I hope we get something like that again, because that'd be cool. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
I just think that the public, like, they're, you know, just what we expect from media has just moved on.
It absolutely is. Like, you don't see a whole lot of that style of cartoon nowadays. I mean, there is Jellystone on HBO Max, which is apparently very good. I think I watched like the first episode. I think they just dropped a new season relatively recently. Like, I think like the whole thing is that like all the Hanna-Barbera characters are living in Jellystone. I don't think Godzilla's ever going to make a cameo, though that would be cool. Though
so funny.
I do think he'd made that the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla made a cameo in a recent Scooby-Doo comic book.
Huh.
Within like the last couple of years. Let me bring it up. I want to say 2016, but even that feels a little too early. So I could be wrong, but it was like recent. And also like the theme song for that show is like so iconic. People know that theme song. I feel a lot of people know that theme song by heart, mostly because it's a very short theme song, but like the fact that the theme song is so popular and everyone knows who fucking Godzuki is. I feel like people, I think that's another thing that should be taken into consideration here.
It being like ultra recognizable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll move. I think we've agreed that the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla should absolutely be considered a mainline entry in the series. So we're gonna move on to our next series. You know what? Before we move on to Godzilla Island, I'm going to very quickly mention the Godziland series, both Adventure Godziland and Get Going Godziland, and also Godzilla Kingdom. Both Godziland series are more like educational type stuff. There's not really any story behind it. The only thing about Adventure Godziland that's worth mentioning is that meme with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla reporting on the news. That's kind of the only thing worth mentioning about Godziland, I feel. That and the art style. I like the art style, but that's kind of it. And I know nothing about it.
I have not seen. I don't know anything about it. So.
Oh. Well, you should, Brian, because that thing with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla reporting on the news was featured in a short by a friend of the show, Quasi's.
Oh.
When Anguirus gets home and he sees his Gorosaurus watching TV, Gorosaurus is watching the news report from Godzilla Mecha.
I remember that because I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. I've seen that meme. Okay. I've seen that clip posted a couple times where like, unlike you, I get my news from a reputable source, and it's just that screenshot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that was from a real thing. I thought that was just something that people made for fun.
No, that's like an officially licensed thing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Oh,
Damn.
and then in the dream sequence in that short, when Anguirus is dreaming about Godzilla being killed by Ghidorah, it's Godzilla specifically is in the style of Godziland. So there's that.
Okay.
But anyways, moving on to Godzilla Island. This is a weird one because it was aired on TV. I'm not going to really count web series, so I'm not really going to count Godziban or some of the Chibi Gojira stuff. One of them did air on TV, so we'll talk about that. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so yeah, Godzilla Island. It's weird because they're really short episodes. They are like 5 minutes max. There's 256 of them. There is an overarching story. Involving the Exilians, specifically one named Zagreth. That's like the main villain of the series.
That's an alien-ass name if I've ever heard one.
It sure is. It also has Jiro Dan as the commander, who's the guy who played Hideki Go in Return of Ultraman, which is really cool. That's the only thing I really know about it. But it's got like a bunch of new versions of characters. Like it has the medical jet Jaguar that everyone likes to talk about, the Black Mecha Godzilla, and Hyper Mecha King Ghidorah, which is just a fully robotic King Ghidorah rather than actual Mecha King Ghidorah, which is a cyborg. And I'm pretty sure Hyper Mecha King Ghidorah in this show, for the legs, I think they just like slapped on Heisei Mecha Godzilla's legs. Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Here, look at this, Brian. Hold on. There you go. They did.
I always love it. I always love it when people just
half-assedly slap that on. Those are just Mecha Godzilla's legs. Yeah.
Wow, they really did.
They really did. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird because like the interesting thing about Godzilla Island is that all the monster stuff was realized almost entirely with Bandai figures, which is not something you see very often in anything officially released. So
yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to even wrap your head around. It
feels more like a commercial, and especially considering the episodes are 3 minutes long, that definitely doesn't do it any favors to feel like a commercial. But like you can make the same argument for Transformers, like the Transformers series, that the entire Transformers franchise is just one gigantic commercial to sell toys. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm still unsure where I stand on Godzilla Island.
I mean, let me pose this to you.
Yeah.
Would you consider it more a show, or the purpose of it? Would you consider it leaning more towards advertisement or more towards entertainment? Because depending on your answer would be what I think it leads more towards advertisement.
You think so?
I haven't seen it, but the way you've described it to me, I mean, it sounds like an advertisement.
I don't know, because it kind of rides the line between both.
I mean, that's true, but that's probably just because there was people behind it that cared.
That's fair.
But like the intent of it, like by using those figures, and it's an advertisement for those figures, obviously, but also it's a show. So I mean, you could make the argument that everything is an advertisement, which is true. But I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, to me, not having seen it, I can't really give you a well-informed answer, but that's what my answer would be. Is like it seems like an advertisement to get people to buy figures.
Yeah.
Even if it is good, like that, they're not mutually exclusive. It could be good and also an advertisement.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm now that you mention, I'm kind of I think you're starting to convince me. I think I might be leaning more towards it being an advertisement rather than entertainment.
I mean, also just like look, like there's been a lot of like Japanese advertisements that are fucking awesome, but
That's
at the end
true.
of the day, they're still an advertisement. It's just
Mhm.
because of where they were made. That's partially America's fault for being so fucking boring with their advertisements. you
Very,
know?
very true. Very, very
Yeah.
true.
So
Hmm.
so you're leaning towards no, not really mainline.
Yeah, I think there is still an argument to be made there, but I personally am gonna say it's no. It is technically the first live action series,
That's
but
cool.
it I do think it's more of an ad. It's a very long, like, well thought out ad,
Yeah, I mean,
but
obviously people cared about it, and they made 200 plus fucking episodes of it. So
yeah.
obviously there's someone who wanted to keep it going.
Hmm.
But like, that's the whole thing, though. It's like an advertisement can still be good and entertaining. It's just what is it putting first?
Right.
So,
Sorry, Godzilla
but yeah,
Island. You are
yeah,
not a mainline Godzilla entry. You are a spin-off.
still cool though.
Still cool. All right.
And also, it is a record breaker. So,
That's true.
well,
Yeah.
not record breaker. It's a number one first. It's a first.
Okay.
It did
Yeah.
a first.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
All
you
right.
go.
All right. So here's the big one that I mean, I know the reason that this is kind of considered not a mainline, and it's probably really obvious as to why. But Godzilla the series. So of course the spin-off cartoon from the 1998 film. I think the fact that it is related at all to the 1998 film is why people don't consider it a mainline entry.
Man, but it's so good.
I know. That's the thing. Because it's near universally beloved by the fandom. Almost, I don't know a single person who doesn't agree that it is worthy of the name Godzilla. Because it is.
It honestly just feels like people looking at it saying like, yeah, you're cool, but I hate where you came from.
Exactly. Yeah, because like
You know?
when Singular Point came out, and even still, it's a very divisive series because a lot of people just they want more of an action oriented Godzilla animated series, which like. Yeah, we got one. It's right here. It's called Godzilla the series. It came out 25 years ago. There it is. Go for it. Have fun. But I think just because it's linked to the 98 film, people are just like, that's not really what I'm looking for.
It's so stupid. It has literally everything that people criticize the movie for not having.
Exactly. It's got monsters. It's got him using the atomic breath. It's got like
It's got fucking Mecha Godzilla
it's got technically Mecha Godzilla. I mean, that show had very, very big fans working on it. People who grew up watching Godzilla. It had a lot of love, and it's very evident how much love went into that show. To me, this is the easiest. Yes, it's a mainline entry.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the
I
easiest
would
one.
consider Godzilla 98 to be mainline.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Love it or hate it, like it's there, and you just need to enjoy it on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't go back in time and change it.
Exactly.
But I remember when you and I sat down, we didn't finish it, but we watched a lot of Godzilla series.
Yeah.
And it fucking rocked. Like, it was
awesome.
a great show.
It's so good. I've been meaning to go back and rewatch it, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
We've been kicking around an episode idea to review the show for like the longest time, and we always like kind of forget about it because other big things happen. But like it's a really good show. I don't really have. And it does what I love, where there's characters that are cool in it besides Godzilla. Like, I like the main cast of the show; they're all very cool. I don't know why people are so. I really do think it really just has to do with the Godzilla 98 connection. People are just big fucking babies about it. I I don't know. But yes, it is an easy yes for me. Absolutely should be considered mainline, whatever that really means.
Yeah.
But,
And again, like, you can argue it is still a spin-off because technically it did spin off directly from a film.
that's fair.
So, like, you can still make the argument there, but I think because it was so much more successful than that film, I think it kind of it rose above the title of spin-off, basically.
I think they're better to just be called like companions, like companion pieces. Like one is clearly made better by the other, and the other is just great off its own merits. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, by definition it is a spin-off, but like, again, mainline spin-off in the Godzilla fandom, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. So yeah, Godzilla series, good job. You got it. All right.
And you know what? For people who are still poo-pooing it, maybe go back and give it another watch, because maybe you didn't really give it a shot like you thought you did.
That's the thing, though. I don't know anyone who did poo-poo it. Everyone likes this series. I just think like something's not connecting in their brains that to consider it part of the main franchise. I don't know. That it might be because of the 98 connection. It might not be. It might also be because like we didn't really get a proper, fully Toho produced series until Godzilla Singular Point.
Mm-hmm.
I think a big part of that, like the reason that all the ones we just talked about up until now, is because Toho was kind of hands off on I mean, Godzilla Island, like that was a Toho production, but again, that's more of an advertisement for toys but like Godzilla Singular Point was the first one where Toho came in and they were like, okay, yes, this is us doing a Godzilla TV series. We're taking care of this. So, I mean, obviously, I think that so it was mostly this and Monarch that really kind of set the idea for this episode in motion was Singular Point and Legacy of Monsters, because those, I feel like most fans would absolutely consider these to be mainline. And I agree. I think Singular Point obviously is a mainline Godzilla entry for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first real anime. Like, again, you can Godzilla exists as well, but this is like the first like narrative driven series that we've gotten from Toho. And because
2D
of that,
and not 3D.
well, mostly 2D. The monsters are still 3D.
That's right. Yeah.
Except for like 2 specific shots of Salunga or something. Yeah.
Which were awesome. And I'm sad there wasn't more of it.
I know. We'll get them next time. But this one's another really easy one. Like 100%. It's a mainline entry. It's got the full funding, full backing from Toho. It's an original
idea.
It's an original idea. It's good. That's the important thing too. I mean,
we were just talking about the novelization the other day and how fucking wild it supposedly was supposed to get.
Yeah, let me bring that up. This is totally unrelated to this topic, but I was on r/Godzilla and someone brought up, it was a discussion post like whether any Toho kaiju could beat Goliath from Loki, the season 1 finale of Loki. And most people kind of agreed that no one aside from Godzilla Ultima or King Ghidorah, specifically from the Polygon trilogy of films, would even stand a chance. And I saw a lot of people in the comments talking about something specific about Godzilla Ultima that apparently was only ever covered in the novelization. It was never even touched upon in the series itself. I'm going to read the little blurb that I sent you, Brian, straight from Wikizilla. According to the Godzilla Singular Point novelization, Godzilla and the other kaiju are the physical extensions of an omnipresent extra-dimensional entity that witnesses all of space and time simultaneously. It has the desire to destroy multiple universes, but at times simply wishes to be idle and observe, as shown when it assisted humanity in killing the Godzilla that appeared in the fishing village by augmenting their weaponry and damaging itself through unknown means. That is the most insane, out-of-pocket shit I have ever heard from this franchise.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Because I already thought that Godzilla Singular Point was a bit above my pay grade.
Yeah, and that just kind of...
And now you're quite literally adding cosmic space gods.
I know, it's like, what the fuck? It's insane. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
You're not even adding cosmic space gods. You're adding extra dimensional
space
entities
gods,
outside of space and time. Come on, bro.
It's wild, dude. It's fucking wild.
It's just funny knowing how we talk about how unique it is, but it's just like it really, really wants to be unique in the novel.
And unfortunately, there's no. There might be a fan translation somewhere of the novel, but I didn't really go looking for it.
It's almost too much. Like, it's almost good. I think it's actually good they left it out, because I feel like it would have been too much. I think it would have been too much.
It's already a very dense series to begin with.
But like, it took me a year to even have a little bit of a modicum of an idea of what happens. It took me 4 watches, which was the last time. The 4th was when I watched it with Sam, which was the last time I watched it a few months ago, and that was probably the most of an understanding I've had of the story ever.
God.
Yeah. Anyways, back on topic here. Definitely mainline.
Yeah,
I agree
100%.
with you. It is very much like Shin Godzilla. They are distinctive. They have their own stories, their own characters, their own worlds. You can look at them and you know exactly what it is. Just like the Hanna-Barbera series and just like the respective eras, the Monsterverse. You look at it, you know what it is. Mainline.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, next up we got Chibi Godzilla raids again. Now this one I'm saying I'm going right off the bat and saying nope, it's a spinoff. And the reason for that is because Toho has been pushing the Chibi Godzilla character so much in the past couple of years that at this point it feels like it is a separate character from Godzilla. Mm-hmm. Because like this version, he's talking. He talks. He has, he goes on his own little adventures. They have his own suit to for like at events in Japan. Like he's been they've had a guy in the Chibi Godzilla suit at like the past couple of Godzilla fests. It's kind of its own character at this point. So I love Chibi Godzilla. Don't get me wrong. When I recently reinstalled Godzilla Battle Line on my phone, I was very pleased to see that they added him to the game, and he's actually a pretty good unit too. So yeah, no, I love Chibi Godzilla, but it definitely feels like a spinoff.
And also, just probably should have prefaced this by saying, like, our idea of whether something is a mainline entry or not, it is not indicative of its quality.
No, absolutely not.
Like, something can be good and still be just like a spinoff.
Yeah.
Like, you could disagree with us on Godzilla the series and think it's a spinoff and still also think it's good. It's just where you stand on the thesis.
No, you can't disagree with us. We have a podcast.
No, this is our show, and
our word is law.
We will put you to death.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going that far, but all right, damn.
Just like Judge Dredd.
Jesus, okay. But
I'm just kidding. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Okay. But no, yeah. Chibi Godzilla, again, as good as it is, as fun as it is, I don't think it is a mainline series because it feels... But now I'm starting to second guess myself because my argument there was that it felt like it was so singular. But that was the argument we used for this Hanna-Barbera series to consider it a main line. So now I'm like, shit. What? Now what?
Well, now that you've countered yourself, I am actually going to go with your counter because that's kind of where I was leaning.
Interesting.
Because if something is so distinctive, that's kind of the rules we've been setting. If it's distinctive, you can look at it and know what it is, then I would consider it being mainline because the Godzilla fandom is like playing fucking opposite day where everything that's distinctive is mainline, unlike other franchises. So I think Chibi Godzilla, despite me having seen almost none of it, I would consider it being mainline. Especially if it is something new that Toho is pushing.
Yeah.
Currently. At the very least, at the very least, he is an important part of their current brand.
He certainly is. I don't know. I feel because like going back to the Hanna-Barbera series, like that version of the character still felt like the Godzilla we know and love, whereas Chibi Godzilla still feels like his own separate character from Godzilla himself. I feel like you could go either way with this one. I'm still kind of leaning more towards it being not mainline, more of a spin-off, but I think you could definitely make the the argument is there. We already made the argument for it to be considered mainline. So you could really go either way.
We can also just go off of intangibles here. Like if something if it is Godzilla and it is distinctive, but it doesn't meet, certain aspects of the character, then you could argue that would make it, you could say that a version of Godzilla that talks, despite looking and acting like Godzilla, then that would be a spinoff because Godzilla doesn't talk and he's a mindless monster.
But here we go, Ryan. He talks in Godzilla versus Gigan.
I know I was just using that as
I know. I was just kind of giving you shit, but
I'm aware. We did watch that movie and it was fantastic. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Godzilla because like Godzilla doesn't really have like a distinct personality in, I would argue, any movie. He's just kind of mean most of the time. But if Chibi Godzilla has a distinct personality that sets him apart from like base level Godzilla, then you could make the argument that it is a spinoff.
Okay.
So I think you're well within your right.
I think we're gonna go right down the middle. You could go either way. I'm fine with calling it a spinoff, but I'm also fine with calling it mainline. I've been recently in the past couple months, I've been putting in a Q&A in these episodes because Spotify allows me to do that. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys listening right now. I'm going to put this in the Q&A. Do you consider Chibi Godzilla Raids Again to be a mainline entry in the franchise, or is it a spinoff? Let me know in the comments section.
I am going to just put it out there. I think it is a mainline.
You think okay? All right, awesome.
That's the first vote. I'm not going to vote because I'm co-host.
Okay.
But I think that me seeing it as Toho's an integral part of Toho's branding strategy right now, it says a lot to me that it's important and it's part of the Godzilla IP for them. And I think that's mainline enough. I mean, if they're pushing it as hard as they are, and it seems to be decently popular.
It's very popular, yeah.
And very distinctive. So, yeah.
Damn, I wasn't expecting this one to be the one that had like the most arguments for it. Like I thought it was going to be cut and dry.
I've barely seen any of it, but like you talking about it, like it's made me definitely think about it. If I'm going off my own rules, so
damn,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see like what everyone else thinks about that one specifically. Looking forward to it, guys. All right.
Maybe we should do a Q&A on the Instagram too.
We could.
Get more votes on that one.
That could be an option. Yeah. All right, moving on to the final one. This is really the one that kind of inspired because it's the most recent, obviously. Monarch Legacy of Monsters. How we feeling about this one, Brian?
So I've been thinking about this one the entire time we've been going through this list.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it may seem a little bit hypocritical because I say that, like, Godzilla the series is mainline.
Yeah.
I think Monarch Legacy of Monsters is a spin-off.
I'm liable to agree. I don't know if it'll be for the same reasons as you, though.
My main reason for thinking this is because it is much more about the universe that it's set in.
Okay, never mind. This is the exact reason.
As opposed to being about Godzilla. It has Godzilla in it, and he does appear.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does, it is MonsterVerse Godzilla. That's undisputable.
Yeah.
But I also think that the intent of this show was to be a spinoff. Because we're not dealing with Japanese media. This is American media.
Yeah.
And they make it like American media makers make it, which is they want their big movies that go up and make millions of dollars, and then they want their spin-off TV shows on their auxiliary platforms. And you can hate or love that business arrangement, but that is how I see it. It was made to be a spin-off. And I really like Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I really love the characters and I love the direction. But it's not a Godzilla movie, and it's not a Godzilla show.
No, it does. I mean, it does say in the opening credits, like, based on Toho Company Limited, Godzilla, whatever. But it definitely, it's not about Godzilla. He definitely has a big presence in the show, but a lot of that presence isn't a physical presence. It deals more with kind of the fallout of him just existing in the world rather than him actually going about and doing anything. At least until, like, not even the very last episode. He's there for like a minute in the final episode. He shows up, kills the Ion Dragon, he sends him on our way. That's really it. I
mean, also in addition to that, this is a Godzilla we've already seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is a Godzilla from the mainline movies. So we already know him. We already know what he's about. We're not being shown anything distinctive. What we are shown that's distinctive has nothing to do with Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's other kaiju. It's Monarch as an organization. It's flashbacks to the past. Most of which having nothing directly to do with Godzilla. So you could call me a hypocrite because, Godzilla the series, kind of does something similar.
But the thing
I'd
with
argue
that
the Godzilla in that show is different from the Godzilla in the movie because he does more things that you would expect from Godzilla.
That's the thing. The Godzilla in Godzilla the series, he is one of the stars of the series. Godzilla in Monarch, it's like every time he shows up, we're like, yay, it's Godzilla. But like he's not a star. He's there for like the eye candy, more or less, for the fan service, I guess you could say. But he's not like the main draw. I mean, I guess in a more meta sense, he is the main draw because most people are going to be watching the show for Godzilla. But he's not the main drive of the series, of the story that the series is trying to go about telling. And I think that is what it sort of comes down to, is like what the show is trying to accomplish. And I think it's not setting itself out to be a Godzilla show. It is setting itself out to be a MonsterVerse show. And if we're going to say a MonsterVerse show is a Godzilla show, then we have to retroactively say Kong Skull Island is a Godzilla movie. And is Kong Skull Island a Godzilla movie? Absolutely not.
No. But then also, if you were going to make that argument, then you could also say that Monarch Legacy of Monsters is a Kong show because Kong is in it. The last part.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you could still make that argument for Kong Skull Island because, you know, Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra and Godzilla are all in there in that final after credit scene. But, like, it's not a Godzilla movie. It's a MonsterVerse movie. And I think that's where I'm kind of sitting with Monarch. I think a lot of people do consider it to be a mainline Godzilla because I think it is like the first big American Godzilla TV show. And we've never gotten that in the character's 70-year history. And I think that a lot of people are like, you know, kind of considering it to be a mainline. I think the argument, just like Chibi Godzilla, the argument's there. You are more than welcome to consider it mainline. But I think at the end of the day, it didn't set out to be a Godzilla show.
I would consider it a mainline MonsterVerse show. But that's about where I would call it.
Yeah, I mean, the MonsterVerse is the MonsterVerse. The MonsterVerse is not just Godzilla. It's its own thing that just so happens to feature Godzilla as a starring character.
Mm-hmm. See, that's why we have the Godzilla and Kong movies, Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla X Kong. It's not just Godzilla. Like they're, you know, like it's when something is not just a Godzilla movie, it distinguishes itself from that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, I thought we were gonna have a disagreement there, but
yeah. No, well, when I went into this, like with the idea, I was kind of leaning more towards it being mainline, but like the more I thought about it, I'm like, maybe not. So there we have it.
I thought this was definitely a good thought experiment, honestly. Just like, you know, intent versus what you get. You know,
I'm really interested. The funny thing is, like, I know the episode's not over yet, but like the main discussion portion is over. I'm gonna be really interested to see how this one does because this was a really fun episode to do. But like, I feel like the more discussion-based ones, those aren't as popular. But hey, maybe this will be the difference. This will be the one exception. People will respond to this one. I hope they'll, because like I want to hear what people's thoughts are on this thing. This is a really interesting discussion topic, and I hope people.
We should start putting polls up on Instagram.
We should do that. All right.
Yeah.
Things to consider in the future. All right, but I think that's about it. Unless there's anything else we want to cover.
That was a cool ass discussion. I like that.
It was. I kind of wish there were more shows to talk about, but there aren't.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get a second season of Monarch sometime.
God, I think,
and maybe if it features Godzilla more heavily, maybe we could
come back to it. Yeah,
come back to it. Talk about it. I mean, hell, we were even talking about the potential for a Singular Point season 2, which I don't think is ever going to happen.
Well, hey, how about this, Brian? We'll give one more bonus round. Do we consider Gamera Rebirth a mainline Gamera entry?
Oh man,
I'd say absolutely. I would say absolutely.
Yeah,
and part of that is because the last Gamera thing came out in 2006, and it just, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that. But
to be fair, though, the Heisei series were very interconnected. So, I don't know. Or they felt more interconnected. So maybe maybe the Gamera series handles distinctiveness differently.
That's
than Godzilla
true.
Does.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I would consider Netflix Gamera to definitely be
100%
a mainline, mainly because it was pretty different from everything else.
It's also like the only Gamera series we've gotten. Like there hasn't been any other Gamera TV series, so there's not much of an argument to be made as there is for Godzilla. So it's kind of a moot point anyways. But all right.
Yeah.
I think that's where we can draw. We can call the discussion. We did it. Good job. Round of applause.
We did it.
Hooray.
Whoa. I don't know if you can hear me clapping.
I couldn't hear you clapping. I don't know. Could you hear me clapping?
No, it doesn't get picked up on my mic.
Oh, well.
Damn it. Ugh.
Well, how about we move on to our final segment before we call it?
Oh, I love the final segment because it means I almost get to go home.
I know you are home, Brian. You record from home.
Yeah, I do.
So hey, Brian, what new cool kaiju thing have you been checking out recently? There's a couple. I know there's a couple, at least two of which we watched together while I was there.
We watched God, what was the name of that movie, Dave?
I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about.
The Lake Michigan Monster.
Okay, yeah. So we should talk about this because this was supposed to be our Lake Michigan Monster episode. So we should talk about it.
And then we watched it and we said, fuck no.
Okay, so I talked about it a bit on Twitter. So I discovered this movie called Lake Michigan Monster, and all I knew about it was that it was kind of weird, absurdist humor, and it had monster in the title. So I'm like, okay, that sounds 100% up my alley. Brian, let's watch it when I come visit. And so we did. And then as the credits rolled, Brian, I turned to you and said, Brian, I don't think we can do an episode on this movie. It's
my favorite part of the movie was when Sam came in three quarters of the way through with an absolutely bewildered look on her face.
I don't blame
and then
her.
She left.
It's when I was told it was absurdist, I don't think I really knew what I was in for, because that is such an absurd film.
I thought it was going to be a straightforward, like, cryptid movie, but man,
it ain't.
No, it is absurdist to the max.
It really, like, the best way I can describe it is like, it's like a YouTube short film level quality, but like they did that on purpose. Like
they put in so much effort into looking like they didn't put in any.
Exactly. It's so strange. I don't know how they accomplished that. Like,
I don't know.
It's so weird. I do still at some point in the future want to do an episode on it, but like,
I think we should get more people to help us out.
You think that might be something to do? Yeah. But like, yeah, it's
maybe convince Linkle to watch it. Maybe,
maybe Jacob, if you're listening, come help us, please.
Yeah, please, please. We need help with this one.
Yeah, it was certainly an interesting experience. There were.
It was definitely fun to watch in the state that I was in.
We were both very high.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it was an interesting film, to be sure. An interesting experience. There were definitely moments that where I was actually like laughing my ass off, because it is a very funny movie. It's
yeah, it was funny.
It's again, it's a difficult film to talk about. We definitely need to watch it again before we like go in depth on a discussion for it. But
I think so.
That'll happen eventually. I don't know when, but it's on the back burner for now, but you'll get it eventually. We also I succeeded, Brian, in getting you into Dune. That's kind of a kaiju movie with the sandworms.
Yep, you had me and #1 fan of the show, Sam, watch the first Dune movie, and wow, I feel like a fool for not watching it earlier.
It fucks, right?
It does fuck, and we are probably going to go see part 2 this week.
I've already seen part 2, and it's very good. I have a couple issues with it regarding its pacing, but at the same time, like, it's the same pacing in the book. Like, it's very much in line with how the book's paced, but I also didn't like how the book was paced either, so it doesn't really matter. It also, the ending is interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it makes doing a film adaptation of Dune Messiah difficult, let's say.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going, because I know Denis Villeneuve said he wants to do an adaptation of Messiah, but the way Dune Part 2 ends, I think he's going to have to really retcon a lot of the stuff in the book or I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but it'll be interesting to see what he does with it. I think a Dune Messiah film is absolutely going to be in the future, considering how successful Dune Part 2 already has been. I didn't even know exactly how successful. I just keep seeing everyone saying it's like one of the greatest movies of all time. I've seen people comparing it to Empire Strikes Back, Brian.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it, so
Dune
all the
Part
words
2
mean nothing to me.
worldwide has already made $182 million.
That's pretty good for 3 days after release. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's only been out 3 days.
Yeah.
Friday made $32 million. That was domestic. It doesn't even say worldwide, which is interesting, but whatever. But yeah, Dune Part 2 is great. I love it.
Well, you know what else we watched, Dave?
What did we watch, Brian?
We watched a new ERB.
Oh my god! I knew there was something I was forgetting to mention.
You despicable motherfucker,
Brian. You were gonna have to watch it at some point. Don't tell me you weren't gonna watch it eventually.
My God, it was so bad. Anybody who doesn't know, you should. Epic Rap Battles of History. They did a Godzilla versus Kong, and it was fucking grating. It was awful.
It's funny because like I liked Epic Rap Battles of History quite a bit back in the day.
I thought they used to be pretty good, to be honest.
And I don't know what I was expecting with this one. But, and I know a lot of people in the fandom are like really into it, but not for me. I'm sorry.
It's cringe.
There's some fun lines like Godzilla disses Pacific Rim Uprising, which is funny. That's kind of the only one I'm remembering off the top of my head. But yeah, it was worse than I was expecting it to be. And I know that sounds mean, but like I wasn't expecting it to be quite as bad as that was. And don't get me wrong, if you liked it, more power to you. It's just not for me. I'm sorry.
No, it's bad. Music can be objective. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Okay.
Man, let me think here.
I think that's all
you left.
That's everything I've gone over.
Well, I mean, we both got Helldivers.
Oh, we did both get Helldivers. We played it last night, and it was my first time playing, and I fucking loved it. It was a great time.
Yeah, it's very fun. You haven't gotten to the part with the truly massive bugs.
No, I haven't, and I can't wait.
But they get pretty big. So it's pretty good. I heard somewhere that somehow people were being given free tanks.
What?
I don't know what, something like that. I don't know. Some crazy shit's happening. Go look in the other Discord.
Okay.
But yeah, Helldivers 2 is pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Oh, I've talked about this on the show before, but like I'm doing it again, so I'm gonna mention it again. I'm replaying God of War Ragnarok. I've been kind of updating you, Brian, about it.
Yep.
I did, because I never like 100%ed everything. Like, and Brian, you were not lying when you told me like how Vanaheim is like twice as big as you think it is. Like when I first played the game on launch, I got to that point and I'm like, okay, this is way too much stuff to do. I'm going to come back later. And then I never did. So when I came back this time around, I'm like, oh, there's a lot to do in Vanaheim. Okay.
I wasn't lying.
You were not
fucking
lying.
Massive.
There's a lot to do.
There's like 4 boss fights in that
whole
area.
And those are all dragons. So that's kaiju. There we go. We did it.
No, they're not all dragons. 3 of them are Two of them are dragons. One's a drake.
Oh, it's the same fucking thing, Brian. Come on.
And then one of them is this weird like rune orb thingies.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah,
I don't like those ones.
I will say though, and maybe it's just because I'm like really overpowered right now, but like Muspelheim felt a lot easier in this game than it did in 2018.
It was a lot easier.
Okay.
I mean, even going through it at the correct level, it's all very basic combat challenges.
Yeah, it didn't
like,
seem nearly as stressful.
There's no progression like there was in the first game where you have to do all of the challenges and then eventually you end up at a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. So yeah, not that good.
Yeah. Oh well, but yeah, I think that's all I've been doing, I think.
Yeah, I haven't really been doing anything else. I haven't really been watching anything. You could consider it kaiju. I started Death Note. Finally, after a billion years of not watching Death Note.
I don't know if I'd consider that kaiju, but again, I haven't seen much. I've only seen like the first couple.
I mean, there's
episodes
like Shinigami in it, which are just like demons.
Yeah.
So, and they look wild.
They do look wild.
So you can count that. They're not giant, but I mean, most dinosaurs aren't giant.
It's just like the yokai in the Yokai Monsters films.
Oh, and that too. That was a more direct comparison.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't know why you didn't think of that, but whatever.
I don't know. I just kind of thought about dinosaurs. Damn. Oh, it's over now, but hopefully you guys saw that there was a Dinosaurs and Robots sale on Steam. It's over, but there's a lot of good games on sale, so I hope you got them.
I didn't. Oh well.
I got the Terminator Salvation game. I have not played it yet, but I've heard it's fucking great.
Do you mean Terminator Resistance?
Yes, Terminator Resistance, not
Terminator Salvation. That's an
that's
arcade
a movie.
Game.
Oh, it's a movie, isn't it? It's one of the movies.
It is,
right?
but there's the arcade game
Yeah.
that's like better than the movie itself.
People hate Terminator Salvation, but honestly, I think it's just kind of fun to put on in the background.
It's not a bad movie. It's just I wouldn't consider
It's not that bad.
It's not bad, but it's not good.
No, it's just a shitty early 2000s movie,
Yeah.
but it's entertaining.
It's not even early 2000s. It's like 2008, Brian.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, this is the last thing I look up for this show.
Okay. We're at an hour and 45. We got to get out of here.
Well,
I haven't eaten dinner.
Sam's gonna yell at me again for another 2-hour episode.
I know.
So you better cut that down. It came out 2009. You were a year off.
I'm gonna edit it up. I'm gonna add a bunch of shit, so it's like 2.5 hours.
Add like 30 minutes of complete silence.
I could do that. It'd be funny.
Yep.
Oh, we could
All
put
right,
in
well,
like an
that's
after
it.
credits scene.
That's all I've got. I've
All right,
nothing
cool.
else.
We did it. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys sticking around after the short little break we took. We'll be back again on our normal schedule coming up. I don't know what we're going to be doing next. That'll be out on the 22nd. I don't know. But the episode after that, obviously, is going to be Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah.
We'll figure out
ready.
something to do in between. Like I've mentioned on Twitter a lot, I got a big backlog of ideas in my little notes app on my phone. There's a ton of stuff here. I'm going to check this one off. Godzilla on TV. We did that. Good job. But yeah, I don't know. We'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
Anyways, go follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. All at Talking Toku. Go check out our Discord server. Come hang out with us there. Go check out Kaiju United on their Facebook group and their website, of course, and their Discord server. They just did a big update on their website. No, not a big update, but they've been posting all. It's been busy over on Kaiju United, and it's about to get busier. Just as a heads up. You guys may have seen by now, but Kaiju United is gearing up for their big 1-year anniversary live stream. That is happening on March 10th, so this coming Sunday. So it'll be 2 days from now from when this episode drops. And yours truly may or may not be making a little appearance on said live stream. I am. I will be showing up. I won't lie.
Yes,
you
there. Will be.
I'll be there.
I was not invited.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Jacob likes me better.
I wouldn't doubt it. But I'm probably busy. So, oh well.
It's Sunday at 8 p.m. his time. I don't know how many hours.
That's about 8 p.m. my time, so never mind. I'm not busy.
See,
but it's
there
fine.
You go. Oh no. It's 8 p.m. my time, so it'll be 5 p.m. your time. Sorry.
Oh, then I'll be doing even less.
Well, see, there you go. So, Jacob does like me better, Ryan.
Yeah, that's very funny. Nice.
But, yeah, so I'll be there. I'll tune in at some point. It's not like a scheduled thing. It's from what Jacob told me, it's going to be a very low-key kind of thing. But we are going to find out on that live stream whether Godzilla -1 wins that Oscar or not, because it's going in the same time as the Oscars. So I'm probably going to have like a tab with the Oscars playing open and then also the live stream tuning in. So just to keep an eye on things.
Speaking of, actually, don't know if you saw, but the Dead Meat Horror Awards went on. And it
won visual effects, right?
It won VFX and Best Sequel or Remake.
Oh, I didn't know it was nominated for that. I saw. I'm forgetting his name.
Side note, but Talk to Me was nominated for fucking everything.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, it was nominated for everything, and I don't even think it won that much. Same with Evil Dead Rise.
It sucks. So. Those are two very good films. But
yeah, there was one movie that won everything it was nominated for, and I forget what it was.
Should have been Godzilla -1, but that's okay.
I'm pretty sure Godzilla -1 did. Oh no, it didn't.
No, because it was nominated for Best Actor, and he did not win for that. I don't know. I can't remember who did. I think it may have been the person from Talk to Me, if I remember correctly. But
it was
okay. Well, there we go. But yeah, so we'll find out. Godzilla -1. We'll see if it wins an Oscar, but. No, that Kaiju United stream is going to be a lot of fun. Jacob's told me some of the stuff they're going to be talking about on that live stream. There's going to be some real cool stuff. I'm privy to this information, but I won't tell you. My lips are sealed. You won't get a word out of me, not unless you torture me. And even then, I may not crack under the pressure. You don't know the how much what I've trained to withstand. Nothing.
All right, guys. I know this is going on for a while. You can just click off now. It's all right. Listen to some music.
Yeah, go
do something else.
All right, guys. We will see you in a couple weeks to do something. I don't know. Goodbye.
Bye.